Alrighty, well, I lost my phone for about a week, so you've missed a little bit of stuff. Not that much. All the mint here seems to be coming back rather well. She's all green and firing again. This mint, native mint, believe it or not, it's actually going to flower. Couldn't make this shit up. And there's a whole stack down there. I've really got to get in and clip this crap as well. It's just annoying. Anyway, it's been rather hot. The weather's kicked in bloody hard. Ooh. And long story short, it's been around 100 Fahrenheit, so 90 to 100, often 100. I overwatered these today, but it's actually been raining for a couple of hours there. So this doesn't look good. Assume all this leaf business is just what you get when you have it. Surrounded by long grass, as opposed to times where I've had it in here and when I had it in the veranda last year. Yeah, but they seem to be very tall, and we're now getting covered in flowers. A lot of flowers on these. So anyway, long story short, we shouldn't be too far off getting some stuff, but they do look pretty beaten up with all this leaf-eating business, which is sort of disappointing. I probably should clip a bit of this crap. I sort of should get a bit of shade cloth and put over here too, but it shouldn't really be that far off that they start, forming tomatoes. There's a little putty tiddler. She's going good. Actually slept outside last night. On this, I got the mattress in there. It's a brown one I got laying up against the wall. Going to do some, it was raining quite a bit, I was going to do some laundry, but I might leave that for tomorrow. I've flattened, I've actually been out, this damn sod's not emptying now. I've actually been down there early hours this morning, here around 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, cutting out a bunch of box thorn. So I've flattened both Makita batteries, and I've sort of halfway gone through the Ryobi 5 amp hour battery, and I was going to whack those on the charge as I was running the generator to do the washing, and I might still later. But anyways, it's yeah, it's not really bright enough to do anything solar wise in any big way, so I sort of would rather charge them up on the generator than charge them up out of the solar panels, because that little fan that I've got in the roof there, that hasn't ran the whole day. It's just sort of been overcast, and yeah, anyway, I'm getting a couple of those bags of spinach that I bought on the cheap, and trying to eat some of those. I've got some chicken livers sitting there. Also, I have done, I've had enough of excessively hot showers from this thing with its stuck blasted temperature gauge thing that all, collapsed ages ago, and I improvised it back together. And bada bing, I have this. Seems to be terribly good at just randomly dripping all day. I've turned it off. Yeah. I had another trigger nozzle as a piece of crap, but this one has come from my grandfather's, along with a bit of hose that come with a crap trigger nozzle. It's cheap as dirt. It was like 15 metres, which is probably like, 15.5 yards or something like that. With a trigger nozzle, it was like $10. I got it ages ago. So I've used that hose and that trigger nozzle. To find that trigger nozzle is just stupid. It doesn't even fan out or anything. To then get this one off my father that my grandfather had and my father just chucked in his shed, and yeah, it works a lot better. I've got it on the that one there, so you get a great big wide fan, and 16 litres a minute, which I think works out about 14.2 or 14.5 or something gallons per minute coming out of that thing versus 1 gallon a minute. And needless to say, I've got a fair amount of pressure, like you wouldn't bloody believe. First time in a long time that I've had a shower, well, first time since forever I've had a shower here with ridiculously high pressure. Yeah. I haven't T-pieced it off and refed it back in to the tank, but I made a, let's get up here a little bit. Yeah, you can see there's the two pipes at the back coming out, but I actually made two separate holes, one for each pipe, one for the inlet and one for the outlet for this thing, and fitted both of them in one, and then I've got a spare hole there, so I've gone and whacked in, that's the exact same line that actually used to go inside the wood hot water system, and I've just wiped a bit of crap off the outside of it and basically just stuck it up there. And got a saddle clamp in the back there and a bit of wire to help hold up the top. And I went and got myself some new hose clamps and used that other bit of hose I already had along with that. And yeah, that's probably slowly siphoning. That's why it's dripping. But that's an on-off switch. Believe it or not a trigger nozzle, but an actual switch. So I've got it to off, but I think it's obviously leaking a little bit. Couple of drips ain't gonna matter anyway, because it's, how big is this thing again? 100 litres. So that's shit. What is that? I should know. It'd be about 25 gallon or something like that. Something like that. Anyways, maybe 27, but of course I can't completely fill it. But yeah, so that's given me another option for these days when the water is so hot that once it goes through the propane hot water system here, it is too hot and it scalds you. And instead, I can turn it on, and you got a nice day that's blooming 100 Fahrenheit. The water warms up due to the air temperature inside that. And then you sort of, what I tend to do is turn the propane one on, and as the water first comes through, it doesn't really heat it up much because the element's still cold inside, and so are all the pipes and stuff that go to the shower head that's coming from that one. And so you sort of just get yourself wet with this one, and then lather up and then wash off with this one with some ridiculous pressure. And I tell you what, you don't want to get your balls in the wrong place. Put it like that. It is very good pressure. Go to get the soap out, go to get the shampoo out of your hair, and you probably tear a couple more bits of hair out of my head at the same time. You might have noticed I've been using that Elcapin, how the friggin' hell you say it. Caffeine shampoo was actually recommended to me by a hairdresser who reckons it thickens your hair. I'm not sure it's working. I think it's more the placebo effect. My sister reckons it might be working, but I think we're all just too enthusiastic to see a result, and it's probably just overpriced shampoo. Have a lot of firewood. I'm really thinking of just putting it all back outside again because, yeah, the fire is no longer, the wood heat is no longer really getting used. And I lost you get little witch's hats. I lost the bloody witch's hat off the thing. I can't believe it. I remade it with all my own stalks, or the frickin' thing come off anyway. So I gone and bought another one, and I'm not too sure it's quite the right size. I'm yet to put it on there. I've got some more tie-down straps too. They are phenomenal. I'll go and show you, actually. I can't work out the pricing of these tie-down straps. It just does not make any sense. You get a 1-inch wide one with a 727 kilos, so it's like a 0.7 ton hold rating. You get 2 of those in a pack for $32. Then you can buy one like that, but not as long. This one's 2.5 ton, and it's 9 metres long. And needless to say, you've got a decent bloody ratcheting mechanism. I mean, look at that compared to the size of my hand. She's a big blooming thing. And I never like cheaping out. See all these people with little 1-inch tie-down straps, and I think they're shit. So I always get the decent stuff. But strangely enough, though, for $18 each, you'd get 6 metre 2 ton. Then for $15 each, you got 9 metre 2.5 ton. So basically, I could have bought 2 of these for $30, whereas they have these, 2.5 ton 9 metre, whereas they have these 0.7 of a ton, not 2-inch wide, but 1-inch wide ones that are, what were they? 3 metre or 5 metre or something like this. I think it was only 3 metre, and they wanted the equivalent of $16 each, and that is $15. Work that shit out. I cannot understand their pricing. Anyway, there's a new witch's hat there. Pretty sure it's the size. It's just a little bit too small, but we can work around that. Pretty sure I need 150, and this 125, they didn't have any 150s in stock, but what happens is you can get at least 3 screws into this, and then what you do is you cut a little slit, another little slit, and this piece will probably actually be inside where the stovepipe is. So your stovepipe's a little bit bigger, so it'll be out here, and this piece will be inside, but you at least get 3 screws in. And that'll do until that bloody destroys itself. You might notice if you're an Aussie, it's not quite the right kind of one, but I don't know where the hell I buy these quite the right ones from. And I used to get those $5 each, and they're $25 now. Work that shit out, I've seen it even with their blooming camping stoves, the little crapo butane camping stoves. The price of them's gone from $20 to $13 really, is $12.95, and then it's up to $25, and it's like, hang on, one year it's 20, the next year the same frickin' stove is $13, the next year it's 25. Like, what the hell is going on with this place? But it's welcome to the giant corporate pricing mechanism that doesn't make sense, but it doesn't need to, because quite frankly you don't have any other options, because they've just dominated the market. Anyway, that's something that I probably won't give a shit about for a long time, quite honestly, till autumn starts to come, because it doesn't really matter, because I won't really be using it much, and even today, even if I do some washing, I won't be using it, because it's be so warm tomorrow to dry it all out, so it's going to be back to about 90 degrees tomorrow, so anyway, I'm thinking of getting the chainsaw with what fuel I've got left in it and going down there and cutting some boxhorns while this grass is wet. And there's some there that you just take a look at, and the bloody things are 8 inches diameter, and you think there's no way I'm going to go through that with a reciprocating saw, because it is just ridiculously hard on it. And you just got to beat the life out of it, and what for, So I cut some of the smaller ones, but I'll go down there and get some of the bigger ones after I've had something to eat, because I have not had much to eat at all today. So anyway, we better continue on cooking here. I've got these ones that are, usually I've got ones that are made for just cutting wood, and they sort of think that you're going to cut 4x2s and shit like that. And this is a specific pruning one made by one of the best brands that I can easily get my hands on. Milwaukee ones ain't too bad, these are better. DeWalt ones, quite frankly, I was surprised at how shit DeWalt reciprocating saw blades are. I was pretty bloody disappointed, because usually DeWalt is good stuff. But anyway, these bastards will just about saw your leg off if you wanted them to. And I'm surprised at how much better these are compared to the ones designed for cutting 4x2. But then again, the teeth are bigger, and by hell does it throw out a lot more sawdust. So I'll be buying more of these ones in future, without a doubt, because it certainly goes through the stuff like it means it, you know. And the other thing is, the other ones might be made to do a nicer, straighter cut, whereas this is pruning and it probably does a rougher cut, but by hell, it runs through them a lot quicker. And yeah, got the Ryobi sitting down there that you can't see, and it's got one in it, and it's sort of might need a little bit of straightening. I think I hit the end with a rock and it put a little bend in it, but nothing. I haven't done a squillion times before anyway. But yeah, anyway, I better get on with eating, and I'll see if I can get this chainsaw going. I usually talk about you know, using half a gallon of fuel a week, and I just realised I got a thing there that I put about, I don't know, 5.5 gallons of petrol in, gasoline, whatever you want to call it. And it has taken me a few months to get through it, and there's still a little bit in the bottom that I couldn't quite fit in the tank when I was doing the water pumping. So before I do any laundry, I might try and pour out that last little trickle. And yeah, it's quite a surprise. It's been damn near 3 months before I've gone through 5.5 gallons. So so probably, you know, it's probably almost half a gallon a week, but it just shows how low your costs of existing here are, you know. And over here, our damn fuel is, oh shit, you know, it's not quite double, but it's getting there versus American costs. You know, it might be another 70% more. You know, whatever you pay, plus 70% of what you already paid for the same amount of fuel, and that's just the way it is here. In England, it's basically, it's probably more than double the cost for petrol in England as it is in the United States. But just goes to show, you know, how it's taken me 3 months to go through 5.5 gallons, you know, how low your cost of living can be if you only run heavy devices off a generator, and everything else off solar, and what you can, you use wood-fired or, you know, propane. And yeah, I have a strange feeling that comparative cost of propane, our propane is almost the same cost, maybe even a bit cheaper than what yours is in the States, which is sort of strange. But that explains why we run vehicles on propane, because it is bloody cheap over here. Anyways, get back to cooking.